We just got the Arcane Jinx gacha system on the live servers, and we already got the taste of Riot's new predatory practices. It's quite possible that some of the things that Riot is doing might even be breaking the law in some countries. In this video I am gonna show you all the shady things that Riot is doing and also talk about the future of skins. In particular, Riot not doing more ultimate skins because of memory and sustainability issues, but then magically being able to do exalted skin every month. After all, we already have a new $250 set skin, so this is likely the new reality we're facing. Okay, let's get started. When you open the loot tab for the first time, here is where the first lie appears. If your tab isn't loading super fast, you can clearly see at the bottom that the S tier loot is guaranteed when you spend 70 ancient sparks. Then, when the page fully loads, it's suddenly 80 ancient sparks? That has to be a complete coincidence, am I right? By the way, did you know that on PBE it was possible to buy 160 sparks daily, equaling to 500 USD? But fortunately, Riot has increased this limit on the live servers to 250 sparks, so roughly $800. Let's also not forget that every time we open the loot tab, we will be directed into the Sanctum page. It is impossible to reach your crafting tab without having to look at the gacha advertising. Also, I have a question to you, Riot. What on earth is this date format? Did I spend 200 years in a coma and suddenly a day lasts 60 hours? What is this magic? Alright, now let's have a look at one of the worst things that Riot is currently doing, the Ancient Spark currency purchase screen. When you go there and you don't have at least 400 Riot points in your account, you cannot see the price of Ancient Spark. You cannot see the price of Ancient Spark anywhere in the client. It's already been 3 days since gacha was released on the live servers, many people have complained about it, and it is still impossible to see the price of Ancient Sparks. It's extremely predatory that you need to first buy Riot points to even be able to see how much the product will cost later. Imagine going to the grocery store, there is no price on the product you want to buy, and to find out what it costs, you first need to buy the voucher in that store. So you do this, and then you find out that the product you wanted is few times more expensive than you planned? Too bad. Your problem. Some of you may even be asking right now, is this even legal to hide the price of the product like this? That's a great question. Let's have a look at the European Union, as it's known to be one of the strictest markets when it comes to regulations. According to the Price Indication Directive by the European Commission, the selling price must be unambiguous, easily identifiable, and clearly legible. I think we can all agree that this isn't the case for Ancient Sparks, but Riot probably knows it very well. Theoretically speaking, they don't sell Ancient Sparks, they just sell Riot points, and price of those is very clear. So although it is extremely deceiving and predatory, it's likely that in fact it might be fully legal. Similar story may also be applied when it comes to the issue of unfair pricing. Now let's give Riot the benefit of the doubt that they're not violating any of these directives. European Union is one thing, but countries within EU of course have their own laws. For example, France, Netherlands and Belgium have all been known for their battles against loot boxes. Loot boxes is a term that is used more in the West, gacha is more used in the East, but if we're not being nitty-gritty, I think we can agree that they're pretty much the same thing. In both cases, it's about spending your money or in-game currency to get a randomized selection of virtual items. Belgium is the strictest of the countries I mentioned, as in 2018 they have decided that loot boxes are gambling and therefore to be able to operate them you need a gambling license. This resulted in many companies like Valve, Blizzard or EA to pull out loot boxes out of their games, and even a few years after that, many game developers simply don't offer loot boxes to their player base in Belgium. Despite that, League of Legends gacha is fully available there. Maybe there is a loophole they found, maybe not. We would probably need an expert on Belgian law here. The brutal reality is, the loot boxes ban that Belgium implemented is not really effective, mostly due to lack of funding and simply too many games existing. Okay, now let's have a look at the future of skins and the gacha system. Let's have a look at a few tweets from the former Skins Initiative product lead person at Riot Games. In late 2020, Riot said they cannot do more ultimate skins because they could potentially, quote, break the game experience. They also said that many of the ultimate skins have used enough memory that if you had more of them in one game, it would degrade or even crash the game experience for some players, which was not a trade-off they were willing to make. They decided to change what ultimates mean for them, as according to them, they were not sustainable. Quoting them, "We're out to see what new things we can offer and which champion stories we can elevate by making skins at this tier." So how did we go from not being able to do more ultimate skins due to memory reasons to suddenly doing an exalted skin every month? Cause this is the trend we're most likely looking at. After all, exalted set skin for $250 has already been announced. Riot themselves said that up to 10% skins can be exalted skins, so considering that Riot releases more than 100 skins per year, exalted skins are very likely to be a monthly occurrence. I think we can all agree that Riot is definitely elevating the champion stories with their new skins. Okay, some of you may also rightfully say, you don't need to buy the skin, so what's the problem? And that point is very valid. Thanks to whales, Riot should be earning so much money right now. That in theory should improve the game, including free player experience. But where is this money going? What we're currently seeing is layoffs, predatory practices, and huge downgrades to the loot systems for everyone in 2025. Not only you will get less free stuff next year, but even the skins you can obtain through the battle pass are super underwhelming. Most of them just look like a simple recolor. You won't even be able to use your Mythic Essence for skin shards in 2025, as Riot has removed that option from the Mythic shop. We've only had this gacha for 3 days, but we already have so many people celebrating on social media that they got this exalted Jinx skin. Let's take this Reddit thread as an example. The person played 3 games last night, and in all 3 games they played with exalted Jinx players. Seeing the hype around Arcane Jinx makes me believe that this is gonna be very profitable for Riot Games. That itself isn't really bad, but since it is very profitable, I can only imagine Riot diving deeper into similar monetization practices. And when it comes to skins, loot and monetization, 2025 is looking like a tragedy. Let's also not forget that because of Riot doing many exalted skins now, it's very unlikely that we'll be seeing many legendary or ultimate skins for a reasonable price anymore. And this is a direct hit to the big part of the player base. Imagine if Elementalist Luxed released in 2025. I think it would probably need to cost $1,000. It's honestly pretty sad to see how gacha is progressing in League, how quality of the skins is falling, and how much free players are losing here. In just few months the reputation of Riot has been significantly damaged. Unfortunately, it looks like Riot is slowly heading in the direction of EA or Blizzard. Let me know what do you guys think about what Riot is currently doing. Thank you so much for watching and have a great day.